Hey flight crew, welcome to Captain 3D Printed FPV. Alright flight crew, welcome to Office Hours, completely unedited stream of thought content. And another episode of Office Hours. Today we're going to go through another airplane I found while we were moving that I had printed, crashed a few times. You can see all the repairs here on the wings. This was a trainer, an Eclipson Wolf from about a year and a half or 2 years ago. Anyway, I found this thing and realized I still had a flight controller in here, an ESC in here, and a motor in here that I wanted for another build. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this thing today, install a whole bunch of old electronics on it, switch it over to FPV, and then try to fly the thing. I have my doubts whether the wing loading will be okay. Probably going to have some center of gravity problems too. But that is the goal here today for Office Hours. I'm going to fire this thing up, make sure it's connecting to the radio, make sure the VTX that I've installed on it's connecting to these old school goggles that I found. So the goal here is today, get this thing flying, or ready to fly, I should say, upgrade it to FPV, and then probably go crash it. That's the honest to God truth here. Okay, so let's get into this thing. And first thing I'm gonna do is take the propeller off of here, just for safety purposes. I haven't had this thing turned on for quite some time. So let's get this off and we'll make it a little safer and be able to actually give it some power and test that things are working. This airplane was one of the original 3D printed airplanes that I made back when I first got into the hobby a few years ago. So that's done. Let's see what else we got here. So I've already taken and what I've done is just glued with CA some old 5.8 gigahertz VTX up here on top of the wing. I didn't even bother putting it inside. And then I've also taken where the pilot used to be seated here. And if you can see this thing, I've got it set up where the pilot used to be. I took the pilot out and have just put in some old run cam that I had laying around. So again, the purpose here isn't to be super cute or super clean. I figured I would just convert this thing to FPV and probably go crash it or see if it flies. So this VTX should hook to these old goggles. These are just some box goggles that run the normal like diversity platform. So let's I'm gonna take the camera and set him there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out for you so you can see what's going on. And I'm gonna take and plug this in, see if we get smoke or whether we get some good sounds. All right, that's a good sound. Okay, it looks like outside of being not connected to the transmitter, it's okay. Let me do this. So I've already switched the transmitter back to the Wolf program. So I should have some, yep, I've got some control here, that's good. And of course I don't have throttle because we're not armed. And there's no rudder on this airplane. And elevators seem to be working just fine as well. So all that's good news. I see this thing's selected channel 27. And I don't remember how to turn these guys on. It's been a while. Here we go. I charged these last night. Let's see what happens. I know you can't see in here. Well, you can sort of see. I see in the camera there. But let's see if I move the, oh yeah, you can see if I move the camera around and start looking at the wall, you can see the camera's working. So the VTX is working, the camera's working. You can see, for my eyes, I've got to stick glasses in here to adjust this. This old unit does not have the diopter settings that some of the newer units have. So all that is successful and looks good. Let's see. So this has a Maytech 405 flight controller in it. Let's see what that guy's doing. If I pick it up here, okay, it is trying to level itself a bit. Oh yeah, it's trying to level itself, so that's good. And it's all working in the proper directions. Okay, that's excellent. First step there. So then I'm gonna go over here, and I honestly don't remember, oh, we have a sticker here that says ARM. So I'm gonna just kind of hold down the plane here just in case we get something crazy going on, but okay. Do not know what that means. Let's see if there's an error message in here. It says unable to arm, invalid settings. Well, that's not good. Do not know what that would be all about. Okay, so there's the first problem. Unable to arm invalid settings. I have to go and Google this one. Like I say, these office hours are just stream of thought and troubleshooting. And I don't know what the constant beeping means or invalid settings here, but yeah, the unable to arm invalid settings. Okay. Well, the good news is I can see the VTX is working. I can see that I was able to, I guess, tune this at some point in time. And things are solid there. So I wonder why we have invalid settings, unable to arm. Interesting. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do is try this one more time. I'm just going to power it off and then power it back on with the radio on and see if we get anything different this time. So everything's shut down, and I'll turn this guy back on. Okay, I see iNav version in here. So I can see horizon mode's working, angle mode's working, and manual's working. Don't remember what that switch did and don't see anything happening. Okay. All right, so we have the same problem here. So gonna have to drop off here and do some troubleshooting online and see what can cause this error. So yeah, invalid settings, unable to arm is where we will end for the moment. All right, we got the airplane hooked back up here to iNav and the laptop. It's the same laptop I use for recording, so I can't show you the screen on iNav right now. But the problem is that a failsafe wasn't set in iNav. So if you just go to the failsafe tab in iNav, I selected basically just drop. So it's going to shut off the engine and fall out of the sky. There's no GPS on here, so you can't select return to home, or you shouldn't select return to home. You'll probably just create another error because you'll be waiting for a GPS fix, and that won't work. So that's that. In iNav right now, the flag is gone and everything is green. So I'm assuming when I flip arm here, we're going to hear the ESC give a couple chirps, and then I should be able to apply some throttle. So let's see here. Okay, so that's good. And it's warning that it's armed. Let's see about that motor. Oh yeah, listen to that. Perfect, perfect. Okay, we have something working here. And I see when I throttle up, the elevator is also trying to do nose up. So that's a good sign for flying level when we launch this thing, if it flies. It's gonna be way too heavy. So, okay, I'm liking this. I'm gonna disarm this guy. I am going to disconnect the computer from iNav. I want to do one last thing before we end the video here. I'm going to throw this battery in here. And throw, where's my man that used to be a pilot that's now a FPV camera. I'm going to throw him back on here, and I'm just running these wires right down through here because this is probably this thing's last flight or very much near a last flight. So one last little check here. I'm going to shut that off, get that out of the way, and I guess I should have disconnected this thing. Boy, that video transmitter is hot. I just put my hand on there, and those things get warm. I forgot how warm they get, but literally a little warm on my palm of my hand there. So, okay, let's get this put back together. Like I say, this is probably this thing's last flight. Okay, so I believe this is supposed to be a 860 grams ready to fly. So it's ready to fly minus, propeller. So I'll throw a propeller on there. That's a propeller, and I don't know where the spinner is. I don't know whether you can see the the actual reading here. Let's see if we can zoom further in. So right now, so 860 grams is what this thing was ready to fly at. I don't know what battery they were saying that they were going to use, but right now we're at, it's like about 915, 910.
Well, I completely flopped on that. I would guess this thing's really going to have troubles flying. It's almost 30% overweight. This is almost a sheer, like, crash condition. Hopefully the CG is good.
So, it is a little heavy. Perhaps it will fly. I think it will. I thought it would probably be heavier than that. Let's do like one more little check here. The center of gravity is supposed to be right where my fingers are. There's a little divot in the bottom of the wing that you can feel. And I'm gonna get my fingers right in there and just check that this thing looks like it's just maybe a little bit tail heavy, which is kind of surprising. But I think that's gonna be pretty darn good. I'm surprised it's all turned out as well as it has, but notice the video transmitter's right on top of the center of gravity, so that's not changed anything. And then this probably swapped out pretty evenly with the pilot and the windscreen that was there. So, okay, I think that's it for office hours for today. I'm gonna do a couple more checks on this thing, go through and just make sure that all the servos and everything are still tight. Like I said, I haven't flown this thing in years. So we'll go through and check some of these repairs, make sure that the repairs are still solid. And like I say, it got moved, so we'll give it a once over just for everything that happened during the move. Check my hinges, I'll check my servos, and then yeah, we'll go and try to launch this thing probably later today or tomorrow. So that's it for office hours today. Give me a follow, slam that thumbs up button down there, and yeah, subscribe to the channel so you get more and more content. So Captain 3D Printed FPV out.
P.S. Let me know if you think this thing's going to crash or fly in the comments below.